On one sec, but first, eBay Motors, the place where passion, drive, and patience comes together. It's the formula for winning championships. It's also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay's Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back, because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home some huge wins. So keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions do apply. eBay's Guaranteed Fit is only available for U.S. customers. We talked about the Donovan Mitchell news. He's alongside Jarrett Allen on the injury report. Allen listed as questionable with the bruised ribs. It was a positive sign before Game 3, where Allen was seen participating in shoot-around and doing like warm-ups today. He was back on the court taking free throws at shoot-around this morning, so we didn't see Donovan Mitchell at shoot-around. We did see Jarrett Allen was taking some free throws. Tagboard's not working, so drop it. But that video really does show him play if Tagboard would decide to work. Guys, do you think we'll see Jarrett Allen tonight?
No.
He'll make his return. He hasn't played since Game 4 against Orlando.
Nope.
No.
I do. I think that this is a sense of urgency. If the Cavs lose, the series is over. They're not coming back from 3-1 with two of them in Boston. I think Jarret Allen knows that. They talked during the Game 3 telecast about how he was shooting the basketball before the game and did not seem to be in pain, obvious pain. Now, obviously, standing still and shooting around in practice and getting banged in the paint, that those are two completely different things. Pause.
Yes.
But
yes.
All of that said,
Yeah.
he knows what he knows what time it is. He absolutely knows what time it is. And it is back against the wall time. You've got 3 months to heal.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine that he's not on the floor for tonight's game 4. But all that being said, I thought he would play the last 6 games too, and he did not.
I don't know the severity of the injury. I've heard multiple reports on how bad it is, or if it's not as bad as people saying it is. I don't know. But I know when you're dealing with broken ribs, bruised ribs, or anything with your ribs, it makes it very uncomfortable for you to breathe, very uncomfortable for you to move. And it's not something that's just going to be all right and you back to normal in a couple weeks.
Right.
And I think that if it was something that he could have continued to have played through, he would have been played through it. Because, again, last segment, we just got finished talking about these players and these athletes go through a lot of things that we don't know about. So I can only assume how much Jarret Allen had to go through in those 77 straight games that he played that we never heard about.
Right.
And then the games following Game 1 when the injury apparently happened, and he tried to push through it. I just think at this point, knowing the situation at hand, if he could play, he would have been played. Now, if he's out there tonight, cool. But there's nothing in me that really makes me believe that he will be.
All right.
Man, I just sat here and started thinking about all the times when I used to play and playing back in the day. And there was a thing we had in the locker room where, if you was one of the best players on the team, you was supposed to step up. And what I mean step up is like you're supposed to take the responsibility of making sure that your teammates get picked up because they injured. Now we got Jarret Allen with ribs. We got Donovan Mitchell with a knee and a calf strain, right? And I don't see Darius Garland, Max Strus, Isaac Okoro. I don't see those George Niang. I don't see those guys picking up these veterans, bro. Like there was like these guys are out there playing, trying to get back on the court. You're 100% healthy, as far as we know. You're good. You ain't got nothing wrong with you. But you coming out here, turning the ball over, and not even producing no points. You letting your team down, bro. You letting your partners down because they're out here trying to give everything they got. Mobley's hobbling around on an ankle, and you the highest paid person on the team. You're an all-star. But you ain't showing no intensity. You ain't showing no, like, you supposed to be in them press conferences saying this. Hey, I got people hurt. I got to play better. I feel like I'm an all-star in this league. 15 ain't going to get it done. That's on me. Donovan don't got to carry everything. I'm supposed to be one of those guys. Not a guy, one of them guys. And right now, he doing too much of that. Smiling and grinning. I know it ain't everybody's personality to get fired up. But at some point in time, when you got your partners falling all around you, when are you going to pick them up? Max Strus? You got all that bread to come over here and shoot, and you ain't shooting. Why can't you step up? I just don't, listen, and what I don't like too is I don't like the fact that his demeanor wasn't that same demeanor right here. Don't come to Cleveland and switch up. Don't come to Cleveland and you got that Miami Heat culture. You supposed to have a Heat culture, right? Now you get over here and it's all different. Now I'm quiet Max Strus, and every other second I'm talking in the ref's ears.
I was just about to say, my man.
There was
every
one
other
possession
second.
where 2 times down the floor he was complaining about not getting a call.
The man got more complaint calls to the referees per game than made 3-pointers per game in this series, and that's a damn shame.
It's like Angel Hernandez in baseball. The more you complain, the less you get.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a question for you, Mike, because I thought this briefly when I was watching Game 3, as maybe I'm just seeing this wrong, and I wanted to get your opinion. Are the Cavs using Max Strus the way the Heat did? Is his role here
no, it's
the same?
not the same. No, it's not.
Okay, tell me the difference between Miami Max and Cleveland Max.
I think first and foremost, he's a 2-guard playing the 3 here, which is just a little. He's too small to be a real 3.
Couldn't agree
He's
more.
a legit shooting guard size, but he's definitely not.
So let me ask a question,
wing.
because I agree. I feel like when I watched him in Miami, he was better at his job because he was doing what he's best at. Here, he's trying to fill a role that he is not. He's just not.
He's not a creator.
So what I would love to see, we're not going to see it. Here's what I would love to see. I want to see, and we're going to talk about rotations in a second, but I would love to see Max Strus starting at the 2, and Donovan runs the offense. Am I nuts, Mike?
Well, we're going to talk about that in one sec, because we're going to talk about rotations, and I think JB found something that may not be exactly copy and paste, but stylistically something to talk about in one sec. But to Strus's point, and then that'll lead us right into it. For his career, Strus hasn't been and never has been like a true bona fide sniper from 3. Like, I'll read his career 3-point percentages. Mm-hmm. His second year, or his rookie year in the NBA, he played 2 games in Chicago. That doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
41 games in Miami as a 24-year-old rookie. Shot 34% from 3. Then he has his breakout year for Miami. His 25-year-old season, 2021-2022. Shot 41% on 7 attempts. That's great. You take that on that volume, 41%, awesome.
Did you say on 7 attempts?
7 attempts per game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 7 attempts per game, 41%. You take that run to the bank all day.
That feels that's serviceable
The last
for
2
anybody.
seasons, his last season in Miami, his first season in Cleveland, on 7 attempts as well, it dropped from 41 to 35 and 35 on the dot. So it dropped 6 percentage points from 41, which is a very, very, very good number,
Elite.
to 35, which is right around league average. And when your
Mediocre.
best,
It's a little above league average.
not anymore.
What is league average now?
I mean, there was, during the regular season, let me click 2 buttons, there were like, I think 57 players that shot 40% from 3.
No. I know there's always going to be that because every team has 1 or 2 specialists now. I'm wondering what the league average is, though, on 3-point shots.
He said
I have to do some math on that. Max Strus finished 129th in the NBA in 3-point percentage this year. So your quote-unquote sniper finished 129th in the NBA.
Right, but that's still above league average. Like, there's a lot,
Listen, ESPN only tracked 164 players.
Qualified threes.
I guess. The list just stops at 164.
So what happened? What happened between the 41% year
Part
and
of
the
the
35%? Maybe the word was out.
Part of the reason is I think 41's probably a little high. That was the anomaly. He has 4 legit seasons of data. 41 is 6 points higher than any of the other ones. And 2, in Miami, the offense they run has never been extremely pick and roll oriented.
Right, that's true.
And when you run pick and roll offense, you put your shooters in the corner and you're not running a lot of action. And I think Max Strus, just like Duncan Robinson, and part of the reason he's had so much success in Miami, is they're constantly coming off screens, having defenders trail them, creating more space than they are
And
just
that
catching
helps.
and shooting. And the Cavs' offensive philosophy is not built on that principle.
And I feel like Strus is pretty good shooting the ball on the move.
You know what this
I think
reminded
that's what
me
he's
of?
better at.
Yeah, I mean, like, you'd think he'd be better at catch and shoot, but I am stunned at some of the shots that he makes coming off screens where he's still moving, doesn't have his shoulder squared to the basket, yet he makes it.
But he can't do that here because our offense is pick and roll with Donovan Mitchell and nothing else.
It kind of reminds you of the one time that Andrew Berry signed John Johnson III that was a box safety, and then Joe Wood started to play him all the way back there. This is exactly
Where
what
is JJ? He's in the parking lot.
This is exactly what this reminds you of.
Mike, what would the Cavs be with Eric Spoelstra as their head coach?
Probably still a pick and roll offense because your two best creators are 6'2" guards.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, they'd be better. Don't get me wrong. Like they would do some other things.
There'd
but
be other concepts. You can't just have one play in your playbook.
Well, no,
Yes.
I think they'd be. I think they'd be marginally better because he would hold people accountable for certain things. I know George Niang wouldn't be running around here looking like an offensive lineman. I know that for a fact. I know that.
George Niang would not survive in the Miami strength and conditioning.
I know another thing for a fact. You be running. See, when you watch him in Miami, they bring him off stagger screens. They bring him off pin downs. They got him out here like he's creating. I don't ever want to see him dribbling the ball. That's not his strong suit.
No, I
see,
agree.
when you come to the Cavs, everything's a free for all. Everybody, listen. We want guys to do things we ain't never seen them do. Hey, Mobley need to shoot threes. We ain't seen that. Strus need to be guarding a small forward that's 6'9", that can get money off, and he go play small forward. We ain't seen that. We haven't seen none of this stuff. Like
you just look at this past off season, right? Where you spent the money at and how we got no return on investment.
Zero.
Ty Jerome played, I think, 3 minutes the entire season.
Good.
Who was supposed to be a dude who got significant backup point guard minutes. George Niang and Max Strus were signed for this particular moment. When we got to the playoffs to be knockdown shooters, once Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland was creating off the pick and roll or driving to the basket, none of that has came into play. And so not only did the guys that you ID'd as key significant offseason additions gave you nothing when it mattered the most, you found out that your two guard and your superstar is actually your best point guard. All in the same time. So I think everything that we thought the season was going to be, and you just look at where the Cavs at now, man, I think a lot of the issues is construction and coaching. I mean, that's just where we at.
Sorry,
and I know we finna get into adjustments, and I'm not trying to get ahead of it, but
No,
Mike,
sorry,
we
Kobe.
can do it in a sec.
in
Just give me-
fairness, when you said, well, their two best playmakers are 6'2" guards, like, let's just dissect that for a second. They've got Jarrett Allen, they've got Evan Mobley. So it doesn't have to be that way.
I still think, and I tweeted this out, I'll die on this hill. We talked about it on Friday. Mobley's best offensive skill right now is his passing, and I would run way more. I don't know what percentage you want to put it at, 20, 25, whatever. They don't run nearly enough offense through the bigs, in my opinion.
And
in my personal opinion. Because I think both Allen and Mobley
So
are
let me
capable
ask
at
you
that
this
position.
then. Is this a byproduct of what JB does, so it makes it look like our best two players are 6'2" guards? Like, you've got to use the skill sets of the players you have. I fully understand that. But also, if you want to sharpen skill sets of certain players, you have to commit to that. You can't just expect that in the offseason they're going to come back and have that skill set. Let them work on that against Atlanta and against Detroit.
I don't disagree.
And I just keep seeing the same thing. We're going to talk later in the show about, are we going to see a Browns offense that actually is different? Well, we've seen the same Cavs garbage now offensively for 3 years, and where has it put us?
Jay, you would need to have what we call a plan.
a plan. Is that like a blueprint, an agenda?
Like you would have to have like instead
Does that
of
include meetings?
yes,
Is that a rundown?
and diagrams and like PowerPoints and like I don't and
Strategy.
And by the way, Kobe Altman, you're not getting off on this. You're not getting off on this. I already listen. No, you're not.
His two off-season acquisitions have been eggs in the playoffs.
You talked about shooting, and you was the guy that came up with that 51-win saying. that propaganda that you was spreading all over the city. 51 wins. Where did 51 wins get you and all this shooting that you brought in? The reality of the situation is your roster that you brought in, the guys, big time players, right? And am I mistaken? Did he not give, I think he was the guy that gave Darius Garland that money, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Did he give him that max deal?
He did.
So you telling me the max guy getting 14 points a game, you got two guys coming off the bench, they got 60 some odd $1 million.
One name Max.
One name Max. He got the max off the bench street. Like off the corner, Max Strus got the biggest deal in the world. And guess what? We sitting here today and we are no better than you were last year.
You know what? And I'm not. I know that Kobe is the guy that brought them in, but I still think if you own the restaurant and you're going for 5-star ingredients and you're getting a 3-star meal, that's on the chef. That's not on the guy that bought the groceries.
I just want to know who hired the chef.
Well, you can't fire him because he owns the whole thing.
Hey, hold on, but that is right. The general manager did hire the chef.
I don't know who hired the chef. You know, sometimes the GM in a restaurant has the ability to make the moves, but
Sometimes the owner does.
that restaurant GM answers to somebody too. So
Gordon Ramsay about to get rid of all y'all. You know, he don't play.
Hell's Kitchen.
So one thing that happened in game